Okay, that should be better. And if you're super courageous and you want to get on stage with me to get a live consultation, let me know in the comments down below. I'll share the link to join the stage. Let's just get started. Let's get started. If you guys hear me well, let me know in the chat. Um, Let me know if you're listening, watching from X or YouTube. And let's just go. Let's just go. So let's have a look at a couple of stuff on Reddit. Let me see. There we go. There we go. All right. Let me just filter this. Okay, that's answered. Let me just make sure I'm sharing people the link just in case they want to watch it. There we go. Back here. Let's go. Okay, we answered all of that. Good job. I love that. Let me just see. I think I had another post. Roast a couple of bitch. There you go. Let's just check if we did everything in here. Yep. Good. All right. Okay, cool. So let's just have a look at some of the stuff that I had here from last time. Boom. All right, so go loco. Let's do go loco. So let me have a look at go loco. Why do I see learn a language? Go loco is a language learning platform. We collect analytics data to improve our content. Opt-out. Let's go. Speak your target language fluently. That's too smart. I'm not sure people would think this way. Everything under the sun, you need to learn a language. Cool animation though. I see you have a light mode, dark mode. Okay, cool. Like it. It's a bit strange here. Like here you have a sun logo, but if I look at the top, it's a monkey. So there's a little bit of consistency gap in the artistic direction. Be careful with these kind of fonts. At the top could be a bit hard to read, but that's minor. Let's get started. Okay, explore today for free. So, I'm not sure the word explore is something that you want to use, but all right, I speak French, so let's just get started in French. Okay, so okay, first thing, I was not expecting this to happen. Like I'm supposed to learn a language, so if I pick a language, I'm expecting the interface to be in English and then help me learn French. But when I clicked on here, everything is in French, but I'm trying to learn French. So like I mean, I understand it because I'm fluent, but it doesn't make sense. The interface should be in wait, and it's strange because when I zoom a little bit, there's a little bit of English now under it. But oh man, this is terrible. Let me just switch to my black belt roasting level because like I'm gonna go nuts. So I need my black belt level glasses, the dark glasses, because I'm gonna give dark feedback. There's a really big problem here with the interface. It's mixed up. You're mixing up French and English. Right now, my persona, I'm acting as if I'm an Anglophone trying to learn French. So when I land here, I understand module, generate module, I understand. Stack, next up, random, I understand. But then this is simple phrases. This is that sentence means like learning a tense, and this is affirmation. It's the same word in French. But the problem is like, if you're new to French, there's no way you could understand what this means, and so people would have a hard time navigating your interface. And now we're switching back to English. Flashcards. Generate flashcards. 100 regular verbs. The numbers from 1 to 100, and you should probably like put a dash in the middle. The 50 most common adjectives. But like again, if you don't speak French, there's no way you could understand this. So you have an interface issue. You have a big interface issue. Fix that, otherwise people would get super frustrated. Let's go to wait. Auto inspect, story time. Okay, let's just pick one. Numbers. You zoom out. What is supposed to happen? What am I supposed to do? Clip that. What am I supposed to do here? There's okay, the number one. There's like this. Okay, how it's spelled. Is that a button? Oh, come on, man. No. Wait, I'm hearing something. Do I have my settings wrong? No, I don't have my settings wrong. Okay, something is messed up here. Man, like, if you're learning French, there's no way you could understand this sentence, which means I have a purple hat. See, yeah. No. There's a problem with the learning content. Like, the educational level is messed up. The way you structured it is completely messed up. You should try with people. Like, put it in the hands of people, because like the level is clearly off. It's way too hard for someone starting off, and nah, it's not good. And the instructions are not clear. Like, what am I supposed to do with this interface? Am I supposed to just click and listen, and then click and listen to each of these things, or practice, or I don't know. Like, you need to have a look at this as if it was a vending machine. And so people go to the vending machine and they should be able to fully self-service without any issue. When I look at your interface, I have no idea what I'm supposed to do with it, how I should leverage your UI component to be able to learn that stuff. So please just go back to the drawing board, wireframe me that shit, and put it in the hands of people and see how they react to it, just like I did. Let me check, because I'm sure that this guy somehow answered one of my pitch situation. Guys, drop me your pitch in the comments, or DM me on my social media, or DM me on X or stuff like that, so I can review your pitch. I think this guy, yeah, boom, yeah, there we go. Check it out here. Join the live if you have additional questions. Boom, 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 bing, boom. Yeah, right. So this one is done. Let me just remove that. Cool. Yeah, all right. So do we have any questions in the chat? Let me check. There we go. All right. Drop me comments. Guys, don't hesitate. Don't be shy. I'm here to support you. This is a free live consultation. I usually charge $350 to coach and help startup founders, and you'll get this for free live right now. So really leverage that stuff. Let me just check in the chat. Okay, we have nothing. Cool. Let me check if anyone sent me a question in here. Boom. All right. Cool. Excellent. So let's have a look at that. Anything on YouTube? No. Let's move on. Let me quickly check the news. Do we have anything cool running? Bang, bang, bang. Okay. What's my news automation telling me? All right. All right. Da-dum-bum-bum. All right. Just check that. Yeah, not interesting. Is working on with cursor to access. SpaceX, really? True. All right, we have an interesting news. Let me just check that. All right. Google is about to what? Google's even thinking machine learning tabs to Google deepens thinking machine labs ties with new multi-billion-dollar deal. Former OpenAI executive. Blah blah blah. Okay. Google signed up for multi-billion-dollar agreement with Google. Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. What else do they have? Versales says some of its customer data was stolen prior to the recent hack. Damn. A customer trouble, blah, blah. Tesla drops Musk interim hardware delivery structures. WhatsApp, AI Galaxy Hunters. Parent company, okay. Spendings. Man, Tesla just increased its spending plan to 25 billion. Here's where the money is going. So what are they going to do with this money? Tesla CEO was kicked off. Blah, blah, blah. Favorite Tesla. This is 5 billion upstake. So, yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, nothing crazy interesting. Nothing crazy interesting here. Just gonna mark this one as covered. SpaceX is working with Cursor and has an option to buy the startup for 1260B. Man, the numbers are insane. Let me just put down my color glasses because this doesn't need the black belt level. SpaceX is working with Cursor and has an option to buy the startup for 60 billion. SpaceX said it has struck a deal with Cursor to develop a next generation coding and knowledge work for AI. Considering that I think SpaceX merged with XAI, so I guess they want to put that on top of each other. Option to buy the popular software development platform for 60 billion. Who's using Cursor here? Let me know. I'm not using it. What do you think of it? I'm super curious to get your comments. Potentially purchasing a leader in the hottest AI product category. 60 billion is insane. It's nuts. It's nuts. Let's just see where it goes. Let's just see where it goes. It likes really inflated prices though. Really inflated prices. Do we have any comments, questions? Let me know. Let me check quickly if I got any DMs in here. You should put a link in the app in the Saas. Put the link to the app in the Saas description. Proving. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, I think we roasted all the Saas from yesterday. So let's just have a look at a couple of questions that folks typically have. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, all right. Thanks for the support. Appreciate join the stuff live. Let me see if we can dive into a very specific question today. that you guys have a lot of the time struggling with that shit. Let me pull out my library. There we go. Let's answer a couple of cool questions. How do you vote? Oh, yeah, that's a really cool question. Let me. How can I share that with you guys? I'm gonna just open a new screen. There you go. There we go. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do this like that, like this, like that. Boom. I'm gonna post that here. Let me see if the recording captures it. No, the recording doesn't capture it. So let me just switch the screen to this one. I should probably, yeah, do the entire screen. It's gonna be easier. There you go. We are going to answer this question. There you go. That's a really cool question. How do you validate your how do you validate a SaaS idea before building it? So before I answer this, drop a comment. Let me know that you're alive. I want to make sure it's not the dead internet watching this right now. Boom, boom, boom. Let me just make sure I push this so people don't miss it. Up, up, up. Before building it, answering live. Boom, 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 boom. There we go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Check. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, because this question is really good, I want to make sure you guys got something out of it. So I'm gonna drop a little 2-minute pause so I can grab my tablet and I'm gonna sketch the answer to this question live. So give me 1 second. And we're gonna answer this here. Bum, 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 bum. Boom. Thanks for your patience. Let's go. So, the question is, how do you validate your SaaS before building it? Let's just quickly have a look at what they're saying. So, how to validate your SaaS before building it. All right, all right, all right. So let's have a look at the question in the detail. I often come up with a SaaS idea. Okay, so number one problem. So I often come up with a SaaS with, sorry, I often come up with SaaS, with ideas for SaaS products, but building them takes a lot of time and effort. Before investing in development, what methods do you use to test whether people would actually be interested? Blah, 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 or something else. I'd love to hear what approaches have worked in real project. I love this question. This is a really good question. I get it all the time in consultations. So let's just answer it right now. And if you have any additional questions, let me know in the comments down below. We can just dive into that. So a couple of things that I noticed. How to validate your SaaS before building it. So the first interesting thing that the person said that for me is a red flag is I come up with a lot of ideas for SaaS. This is the number one mistake. Number one mistake. And then the second thing is, okay, how do you test that? So we're gonna answer that, but before, let me dive into this concept because I think it's killing so many people here. A lot of you guys start from an idea. So you start from an idea, and that is wrong for many reasons. So reason number one, and there's no particular order, I'm just dropping it right now. Reason number one, it's self-centered. And so what I mean by that is then you're putting your ego into it because you think this is your idea, that you had this and nobody has it and blah, blah, blah. And I cannot tell you the number of people, I've done probably 200 plus consultations in the last year and a half. And you guys come up with always the same kind of idea. And you really think it's unique and you just thought about it and blah, blah, blah. And because it came out of your head, well, you think it came out of your head, you feel like you have the obligation to make something out of it. And so then it's not a business game anymore. It's an ego game. And it's a terrible, terrible way to start something when your ego is involved. And so I have this quote that I love is some people put their ego to grow the company when other people put the company to grow their ego. And so why am I telling this is because when you start from an idea, you maximize the chances of being in the second situation. You maximize the chances of putting the company to feed your ego as the other way around. And so it's a terrible thing to do. Now, the second thing with the idea is that second mistake of the idea is, do you guys see well? Let me just zoom in a little bit. How can I, let me just see if I can zoom into that stuff. And what does the zoom in do? Yeah, no, it's not crazy. It's not crazy. Let me see. Let me just get back to here. Let me just see if I can switch eventually to landscape. Yeah. There you go. It's gonna be much better for you guys to see. Okay, cool. So the second problem with the idea. Second problem with the idea is that not all ideas are good businesses. Let me explain you that. There's this concept in alchemy, where they transform. Uh, what is it? Which metal is that? Um, I don't remember. Metal in like a metal into gold. Um, mm, 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 mm. Using like a weird, strange recipe and blah blah blah. But like nowadays, today, with science, we know how to do it. We know how to do it. We know how to transform like a metal into gold. But the problem is the cost of transformation is way higher than the value of gold. And so it's a terrible business. It's a terrible business. And that's the same thing with a lot of ideas. The implementation of the idea doesn't yield enough money. Sorry, I got it wrong. And so, to give you a clear example, you build, sorry, let me do it again. You're going to spend $1 million to create something that is going to make you $1,000. In that, I can tell you, I see it all the time. Like, yes, you can go from an idea to implementation to a business, but the foundations are rotten. There's no way you can get return on investment. So it's like trying to build a Ferrari that you're gonna sell for $1,000. And the problem is because when you started, you had no idea that you were about to build a Ferrari that would cost you about $1 million and that you'd sell it for 1,000. That you could have done it. So the thing is, because it was new and you've never seen it before, you would have no data point. You would have no information that would literally lay this clean and simple that says, okay, this is your input and this is what you would get out of it. Because you're starting from something new, you cannot quantify this equation that we call the input and output equation. And so you're just trying it out. And then as you are building it, you discover what is the value that's in there, and you're discovering that's the value that's out there when you sell it. And after 18 months, you discover the numbers that are here, and then you realize, shit, it wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth it, and I lost all this time. Boom. The other problem, the problem number 3 with ideas, is that you cannot compound with it. You cannot compound. And what I mean by that is, what I see a lot is Saas number 1, people will go for CRMs. Saas number 2, people will go for to-do lists. Saas number 3, people will go for what is it that I see all the time? Thumbnail makers. Saas number 4 is some sort of oh yeah, actually this one was number 1. It's boilerplates. And I don't know why everyone's going for boilerplates, but um boom, this is probably the one that I see the most. And so you can tell, number 1, you guys build a CRM. It doesn't work. You pivot, and then you go for a smart to-do list with AI that's super lean and blah blah blah. It doesn't work. Then you pivot. Then you go for a YouTube thumbnail maker. It doesn't work. Then you pivot. Then you build a bottle plate. It doesn't work. Then you pivot. So now you failed 4 times. And I always ask these questions to the guy who booking consulting session. I ask, what is your outcome? What is your outcome? What I mean by that is, did you capitalize on any learnings or anything? Did you capitalize on something? And the reality is, the answer is hell no. So what happens is, you build something, that's a step. You try it, it doesn't work. You go back to 0. You think of something else, you build it, you push it, it doesn't work, you try again. And you just do that forever or until you give up. When the reality is, and how people make it work is, they try something, they push it out, it doesn't work. So they try something else, but something else that gives them a hedge. So they have another step and it doesn't work. And they try something else, but it gives them a hedge, and they don't stop until they get something that finally takes off, and then the money comes in. And so the problem I see with those ideas is that you're pivoting from ideas that are very, very, very different, and so you always go back to 0 instead of capitalizing on something. And so now you'd say, okay, but Riley, you're saying a lot of stuff, but how do we fix that? First of all, I'm going to pause for 10 seconds. If you have any questions, if something that I said wasn't clear, let me know in the comments down below. And then I'm going to lay out a couple of things that you can do to fix this. How much time do I have left? Yes. Excellent. Let me quickly see if we have any comments or stuff. Bing, bam, boom. All right. Hey, 30 people watching. I love you guys. All right. Any comments? Let me check. Maybe I'm receiving a couple of chats. No. Cool. Excellent. Great. Okay. So let's get back to business. So let me lay out a couple of answers. Boom. So number 1, to answer the question, you don't want to start from ideas. Bam. You want to start from problems. Cha-ching. Why? Because number 1, problems can be identified. You can search, you can talk to people, and you can know if those problems are real. Right? The second thing is, you can have a look at existing solutions, and see if those solutions have problems. So you can take a market that is already existing, having a look at some of the products, and see what's missing on this product, or what people are complaining about, so problems, and then position yourself with this thing. That is a big changer. Now, the other advantage of problems is, one problem can be multiple implementations. Let me put it in a different way. I'm using words that are a bit too to high level. One problem can be multiple solutions. And so what I mean by that is, if you select a good problem that is well framed, you'll be able to deliver 100 of different solutions. But here's the thing: if solution one doesn't work and you try solution two, you compound on the learnings. So you don't lose all the learnings from solution one when you move to solution two. You don't lose all the people you've talked to in the customer base and the leads for solution two. And so it gives you an edge. So you never start back from zero because the problem is still the same. As opposed to ideas, because I see when people start from ideas and they pivot to completely different ideas. So they have to relearn an entire market. They have to rebuild a customer or lead base, and all over again. As opposed to where you go from problems, let's say health, like fitness. Just going to use something very simple. Let's say you try providing meal plans. Didn't work. You can pick the next thing. You can build a Saas. Didn't work. You can try to build a community. Didn't work. You can try to build a newsletter. Didn't work. You can try a high ticket service. You can try building a brick and mortar stuff. But at every single step, you don't lose the access to all the people you talk to. You don't lose the access to all the data that you've captured, and you compound on these kind of things. And so pivot, when I see people pivoting, it's like they're jumping from this to something entirely different. It's like a complete different tile when you have to consider your pivot in like a three-dimensional cube where you're just switching to another plant. So what you're doing is you're just switching from here to here. And if it doesn't work, then you're switching from here to here. But all that information that you've gathered, that you've collected, etc., stays with you, and that's how you can capitalize on the business. But that is only possible. It's only possible if you stick to one problem. If you change the problem every week, man, it's the same thing as ideas. So now, how do you pick a problem? Here's my formula. I call this the RUDE framework. RUDE problem framework. And what it means is R is for recognized. So what that means is you should be able to type the problem in Google and it should give you results. You can go to Google Trend and type the keywords of that problem and you should have results. You should hear people literally say the problem and not be technical people. That's how you know the problem is recognized. Then the second one is U, and U is for urgent. This one is a multiplier, so that means if you don't have it in your RUDE framework, it's not terrible, but if you have it, it maximizes your chances of making it work. So of course, urgent means just like the house is on fire. The longer it's on fire, the more dangerous it is for the user. So every minute that passes, or every day or every week that passes without them not fixing it makes it worse. So that's what the urgent is. Now we have the D. The D is for deep. And so what it means is that the problem shouldn't be superficial. It shouldn't be a nice to have. It should be something like the pipe is not leaking a little bit. It's not drops of water on the floor. It has to be much deeper than that so that the costs of not fixing it is even higher. So that's the deep. And then the E, and this again is a multiplier. So these are multipliers, these are multipliers, these are multipliers. And the last one is E for emotional. This one is the super bonus, but if you have it, it's killer for your marketing and distribution. E is for emotional. And so what I mean by that is when you talk about the problem or solutions, people get emotional. And what I mean by that is that it polarizes people. Polarize people. And so you'll have people who are completely fans and people who are complete enemies of the problem or the solutions. It's really the McDonald's versus Burger King situation, right? It's Windows versus Apple. It's Android versus Apple. So when you talk about it or you talk about the solution, people take sides immediately. And this is a great multiplier because when you're going to talk about it, well, the enemy is going to show up and they're going to try to troll you, and the fans are going to show up and they're going to try to defend you, which is going to create natural traction around it. So the problem that you need to select to maximize your chances of getting a business should tick the recognize. This is the mandatory one. It has to be recognized. If people don't recognize it, it doesn't work. And I'm going to show you an example of non-recognized problem after that. I have a couple of examples on my X. And then you have the multipliers, urgent, deep, and emotional. So you want to pick a problem that is root, recognized, urgent, deep, and emotional. Let me show you examples real quick of non-recognized problems and recognized problems. So I have something here in my roast your pitch. I think I saved it. Let me just go to the bookmarks. Bookmark. There we go. Roast my pitch. This is a bit of a live stuff. Okay. So this one was a good one. So I got a lot of pitch under that. Let me just go for someone. Okay. So let's have a look at this one, for example. Help sales team. It's like, okay, how do you help exactly? I don't know. It's like no sales team go in and says, okay, I need help. It's not a cool thing. Let me try to see if I can find a really interesting one that it's not recognized. Bad for people and generate answers. No. Clan management system. Okay. Yeah, actually, this one is good. Shout out to Ken. So this one is good. Clan management and recruiting for gamers. Let me just see if their website says the same thing. Let me just see. No, there's no landing page. I need something with a little bit of a landing page. But here, for example, clan management and recruiting for gamers. Do people really browse? I need clan management for gamers. Like, it's not that recognized. Let me find something. There's always like a guy with AI agentic stuff, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, this one is great. This one is great. So shout out to Ryan. This one is great. AI native browser. So the thing is, let me see if I can just open the landing page, see if there's the same stuff. Browse yourself or let AI do it. No. So here, nobody really goes onto Google or any search engine and says, hey, I need an AI native browser. Just nobody. Like, and clip that. Nobody thinks like that. Especially if you're trying to service like small and medium businesses or freelancer or regular people. Nobody really looks at it as Nobody really searched that. So this is not recognized. This is not a recognizable problem. Let me see if I have. Let me see if I show you another one. Same thing. This one is really cool. Shout out to Tushar. Instant startup kit for founders and creators in minutes. Here's the problem. Like, if you're a founder, do you really go on Google or any LLMs and say, hey, can I say that? I need an instant startup kit. I'm a founder. Boom. You see? Nobody does that on the internet. Like, people, that's not how people consume the stuff. People think, okay, I'm looking for customers. My CRM doesn't work or something like that. So this is not a recognizable problem. And because it's not a recognizable problem, it's hard to validate. So this is an example of a recognizable problem. Let me get back to the drawing board. Shout out to you all. Welcome to the show. Drop your question. To get answers live. To get answers live. Boom. Let's go. So make sure the problem you pick is recognizable, but not recognizable by you, by your potential customers. You should be able to find that typing on the internet. And so now, how do we get to the second part of the question? And the question was, how do I validate? Let me just go here. How do I validate a SaaS idea before building it? So this was a long monologue to say, don't start from idea, start from a root problem, because that is going to maximize your chances of validating something. And then now let's say you've picked a problem. So we've picked a problem. Check. It's a root one. Now we want to develop a potential solution. So create a solution, right? What are we going to do to get that ready? There are a couple of steps, and I have a framework for this, and I call it neck. You need a strong neck to maximize the chances to validate and get tractions for your product. And so what does neck stand for? I'll tell you that tomorrow at 11:30 EST, because time is up. These guys are gonna hate me. Boom. Leading every step I take higher. When I'm weak, you light my fire. Oh, I'm chanting, the amazing advisor. Speaking to my soul's provider. Forever you're my one desire. When the night's closing in, you remind me. When I'm lost in the maze, need a word for these days. I just call, I just raise every question that I've been saving. And the answer comes on time, peace that settles in my mind. Wisdom on a holy line, got my faith awakened. Chanting the amazing advisor, leading every step I take higher. When I'm weak, you light my fire. Oh, I'm chanting the amazing